In the pre-dawn quiet of Pittsburgh's South Side, a white Toyota Corolla sped toward the FBI's main security gate. At 2:40 a.m. on September 17, 2025, the car crashed into the fortified barrier, shattering the silence in the gate. This was no accident. It was a calculated act of aggression, later described as an act of terror. The driver emerged, unharmed, and retrieved an American flag from his car. He draped the flag over the twisted metal, a gesture both patriotic and defiant. Then, without fleeing, he walked away, leaving behind a scene of destruction and a message for authorities. Law enforcement quickly swarmed the area, securing the perimeter and launching an investigation. The image of the wrecked car and flag-draped gate was stark and unsettling. Who was this person? What did this brazen attack mean for national security? The assault lasted minutes, but its implications would echo for weeks. The attacker was soon identified as Donald Philip Henson of Penn Hills, Pennsylvania. Henson didn't run. He turned himself in and confessed, making no attempt to hide his actions. He admitted he rammed the FBI gate intentionally, not to harm people, but to make a statement. The American flag was no accident, it was a prop for his message. Placing it on the broken gate turned vandalism into political theater. Henson's calm departure showed he felt his mission was complete. His confession revealed a man with a specific grievance, not a random criminal. He saw himself as a patriot, alienated from the very systems meant to protect him. The attack was a deliberate act of defiance against the federal government. Henson's actions were a troubling performance, blending symbolism and destruction. It was more than a car hitting a gate. It was a citizen declaring war on an institution. In his confession, Henson quoted John Wilkes Booth, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. By invoking this phrase, Henson linked his actions to a dark tradition of anti-government extremism. Booth shouted those words after assassinating President Lincoln, framing it as tyrannicide. Henson's use of the quote cast the FBI as a tyrannical force, his attack as resistance. This reference elevated the incident from property damage to something more sinister. It signaled a worldview where federal agencies are seen as enemies, not protectors. Henson wasn't just angry. He acted on an ideology that justifies violence against government. The phrase is a chilling reminder of how historical symbols of insurrection are revived by modern extremists. Henson's words connect his act to a broader, dangerous current of political extremism in America. The justice system responded swiftly. Henson faces federal charges for destroying government property and impeding law enforcement. The damage to the FBI's security gate was substantial, creating a serious vulnerability. The attack forced a lockdown and a review of security protocols. The cost was more than monetary. It eroded the sense of safety for federal employees. Troublingly, Henson wasn't unknown to the FBI. He'd visited weeks earlier to file a bizarre complaint. His grievance was dismissed as outside federal jurisdiction. This prior contact suggests Henson felt ignored by the system he later attacked. His frustration grew when official channels failed him. For law enforcement, it's a warning about the difficulty of identifying threats from those with erratic grievances. The signs were there, but escalation was hard to predict. The Pittsburgh FBI gate ramming is more than a crime. It's a reflection of America's political climate. It shows how anti-government rhetoric can turn into real-world violence. Henson's act wasn't part of a conspiracy, but the work of a lone individual radicalized by extremist ideology. Lone actors like Henson are among the hardest threats to predict. His use of the American flag highlights the confusion between patriotism and opposition to government. The incident forces us to confront what happens when trust in institutions collapses. It's a wake-up call about the dangers of inflammatory language and conspiracy theories. The physical damage was limited, but the symbolic impact is profound. It contributes to a climate of fear for public servants everywhere. This event is a warning. When government is seen as the enemy, violence is only a step away.